Gera Master mentioned something about a red emblem outside the temple. Let's see what happens when we do this. Hey everybody, it's here to you, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. In the previous episode, we entered the Stone Tower Temple, explored as much as we possibly could at that point, but then we hit a dead end and there was not much else for us to do. But now, it's time to go back inside now that we've flipped the world around. Before I go any further, I just gotta say, this is really cool. We don't get a good shot right here. Let's go over to this platform. But this is just so cool. Like, you can see the entire tower has been flipped upside down. You can see the boulders falling off the face of the earth. Oh, it's just so good. But that also carries over into the dungeon itself. That treasure chest that we had spawned on the ceiling is now on the floor, because the entire dungeon has been flipped now. We can also see this weird statue head as now resembling Majora's Mask. So that's pretty interesting. Stray Fairy inside that treasure chest. Again, we're not going for Stray Fairies during this run. We're only going to be going for story progress. I just wanted to activate that Stray Fairy to demonstrate the fact that, yes, we could have the treasure chest appear on the ceiling. Alright, so admittedly, this next part of the game I always get a little bit confused on. I did practice before recording, unlike the previous episodes, but I still get a little bit turned around when going through this area. Remember that pathway with the blue skull guys for a little bit later? Not much we can do about that right now, but just keep that in mind. Go right. There we go. So yeah, unfortunately, Deku Link is still too tiny to act. You know what? This is actually the perfect time to explain this. This is one of my favorite things in this game. One of my favorite changes that they made was that you can now swap back and forth between the transformation masks while you're wearing another one. So on the Nintendo 64 version, you couldn't put on the Goron mask with the Deku mask already on. In this version, you can, and I know we saw this already, but just look at this. The tiny little Deku Link body with the giant Goron mask head. I just love that so much. It's so funny. That's one of my favorite details in this game. Why did that not work? There we go. I'm so used to how these songs play in the GameCube version, or the Nintendo 64 version. I used to play on the GameCube controller when playing this game, so that's what I'm used to. Still not quite used to how to play this instrumental in 3DS version, which is kind of sad considering this is my third playthrough of this game. Alright, let's head over here. Fly up this way, and go over here, and kill the frame rate. Yay! What? Oh, never mind. I'm thinking a little ahead of myself. We need to do something over here first. Alright. Let's head over this way, and oh, there's another Switch. It's just like Nintendo Switch. So, this part over here can be a little bit jerkish. You may be tempted to go get these rubies. Don't do it. Don't jump for these rubies. It is not worth it. Also, you can't pick them up with hookshot, which is kind of rude. But on the Nintendo 64 version, this guy would throw you back on the ledge, but on the 3DS version, he throws you off the cliff. It's very rude. I don't appreciate it. It's not nice. I don't like being thrown off a cliff. I'd rather be pushed. I'm just kidding. I don't know why I said that. That was very stupid. Well, that basically sums up, like, most of my commentary. I don't know why I said that. It's just stupid. Anyway, small key. Going back to less stupid commentary, let's go over this way. And ride the wind geysers on top of the room. Bleh, I cannot talk. I've been doing this for 7 years. It's going to be better at doing commentary by now. Ow! Wait, what? Okay, what's going on? Okay, I'm admittedly really confused about this because I was pretty sure activating both of those switches would have caused something to appear right here. But now that I'm thinking about it a bit more, I think that only leads to a straight ferry, so we don't have to worry about that right now. But, I remember now. I remember now. I remember. Again, I think this is only for a straight ferry, but I just want to make sure. Use the light arrows to activate the sun eyeball thingy up there. Whenever I see those things, I don't know how many other people feel. Okay, never mind. I activate a ceiling treasure chest thing. Whenever I see those sun things on the walls, I can't help but think of something from Disney California Adventure. And the thing is, this really shouldn't remind me of that, because I've only ever been to that park once before they did that massive transformation during the late, during like 2009 through 2012. But the thing is, it always reminds me of the sun thingy that used to be in the Sunshine Plaza. I have a picture of it on screen if you don't know what I'm talking about. But that's something I always think about whenever I see those things. It really shouldn't, but it does. And something else I always think about is this room in particular. I remember that we don't have any magic. Well, thankfully I thought ahead about this. And we got some magic green potion things. I was gonna get a Chateau Armani, but the thing is, you can only get that at nighttime. And I wanted it to be during the day when we were outside doing all that stuff with the LG of Emptiness statues. So yeah, I decided to get green potions instead. But, go back to my story. This room right here, there's something that I always think about whenever I go through this room. My Let's Play of Majora's Mask on the Nintendo 64. Something that was really fun about that Let's Play in particular was, during this series, I met my first YouTube friend, Light Saga. And we were both Let's Playing Majora's Mask at the same time. He found my video on Romani Ranch and was asking what was going on with the green glitchy thingies on the bottom of the screen, because back then I had a really glitchy capture card that was pretty terrible. We became friends during our Majora's Mask Let's Plays, and I believe it was in that room in particular, it was the first time that I ever heard a shout out. Like, he gave me a shout out during his video at that point, and I always remember that whenever I go through this area. It was just one of those really surreal moments, like, oh my goodness, my name is like in somebody else's video. Nowadays, I'm a little bit more used to hearing my name in other people's videos because I'm friends with so many other Let's Players and things like that. But this is the very first time that it actually happened, and it was a very surreal and exciting moment. Actually, what am I talking about? I still get excited when I hear my name in other people's videos. Like, very recently, during the Nintendo Direct, where they showed off Tokyo Mirage Sessions Encore, I remember getting really excited when I heard that the James Rolls and the Otaku artists, they were both saying how excited I would be for that announcement. Which, by the way, that announcement was probably like one of the most exciting things to happen during this year. Like, I remember sitting on my chair, like, oh my god, it's actually happening. Tokyo Mirage Sessions is coming to Switch. It makes me so happy. 2019 in general has just been a really good year for game announcements. Like, we got Link's Awakening remake, we got Banjo-Kazooie coming to Smash Brothers, and we got the Breath of the Wild 2 announcement, and we got the Xenoblade and Tokyo Mirage Sessions coming to Switch. It's been a really good year for Nintendo announcements. Makes me really excited to see how 2020 is going to turn out. And I know that that's seriously outdated my commentary, but I just feel the need to mention that in this video. But after all that's taken care of, the door has been opened, so now let's go inside. Also, before I forget, don't stand on top of the treasure chest when you're in that room. It is not a good idea. You will get squished. And getting squished is not a good thing. Alright, so what you want to do next, use your light arrows to attack him. And you may be concerned about the lava in that area. Don't be. As long as you're standing in this general area, you should be okay. I remember when I was younger, one of my favorite strategies was to stand underneath this thing. But then I realized the lava only goes so far in this room. So that's kind of the big reason why I don't do that anymore. Also, this is the room where we were destroying those Armos Knights! Your face is creepy. Alright, we got you. We defeated Wizrobe for the millionth time. And it's unfortunately not going to be the last. It's a cool boss fight. I like it. I just don't like how often it repeats. It's like the bosses in Super Mario Sunshine, how I would never not have a fun time playing them. It's just we've seen a lot before. Alright, let's head over this way. We got some more Poes to deal with. That is an empty bottle, that's not the Deku mask. I pressed the wrong touch button. I usually have the Deku Link mask equipped to the top touchscreen button. Like, I'll switch over to the bottom screen so you know what I'm talking about. Those two buttons on the side right there, I usually have, hold on a second. I usually have the Deku mask equipped up here, but I don't right now. So, that's what threw me off. And I wasted a lot more time than I needed to just explaining that. And now I'm stuttering over my words, because that is the best way to do commentary in 2019. Alright, this right here, this is a Death Armos, a Temple Guard. Look at the red mark on its chest. I know that you've seen something like that before. Use the light arrow to flip it over, and basically what you want to do is, you want to flip it over in a way so that it'll crash down when you get next to it. When it's flipped upside down, it will land on its head, and that will cause it to be destroyed. Owie! It'll keep landing down like that, as long as you're standing next to it. So, best advice is not wasting light arrows. Wait until after you've already flipped it upside down, and then walk over towards it. Haha, we destroyed it. And there's one more. There we go. I cannot muscle memory these songs on the Nintendo 3DS version. Alright, let's head over here. I believe there's only a treasure chest, but I feel like collecting... Well, of course it's a treasure chest. I meant to say it's only a straight fairy. Except I'm wrong about that because it's a small key. We can open a locked door. Let's head over here. And there's a Poe enemy that we can deal with, but yeah, I'm going to spare you for now. And this room. Okay, so I'm going to go over this way first. Go inside the duh. And this one could be a little bit of a jerk. So, I like to flip it upside down and try landing over here. Oh, never mind. Okay, so I usually have a hard time with that one in particular because we're on a thin platform. Owie. Rude. I usually have a hard time with that one because the way it lands on the ground, it usually causes me to go flying off the ledge. And that's not very pleasant. But what is pleasant is going inside this Deku Flower, except not going inside the Deku Flower because there are some mine explosions over there. Mine, 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 mine! Okay, so, fun story about that. I've been to Disneyland Paris twice during my life so far, and one of my favorite rides there is Crush's Coaster at the Walt Disney Studios Park. And the reason why is a little bit silly. First of all, it's a really fun roller coaster to begin with. It's one of those things where two people are riding in front, two people are backwards, and it kind of turns around all crazy and things like that. There are some times where it feels like you're going upside down, but you're not. And it's just a really fun ride, and it's one of my favorites at Disney Park. But one of my favorite things about that ride are the seagulls in the waiting area. Because every now and then, they'll be all like, mine, 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 mine. Those are probably my favorite characters in Finding Nemo, to be honest. This right here, going back on topic, this is probably one of my more personal favorite places to grind up on rubies, because these enemies, when you defeat them, they will always drop a purple ruby, and they will always respawn within a few seconds of this area. So, within less than a minute, you can easily reach 500 rubies. So, I'm gonna go take care of that real quick, so we can have plenty of rubies before we leave this area. We're already at 422 right now. It's kind of insane how fast this takes. And the thing is, you don't even need to... Oh, I've been cursed. Okay, so when those enemies bump into you and you're cursed, you cannot take out your sword. But Luckily, we've recently gotten the ability to let us take care of this. Playing the Song of Storms will get rid of a curse. So if you ever get cursed by these enemies, just whip out the Song of Storms and you should be fine. But yeah, going back to those enemies real quick. This is not the only place you can find them. You can find them in Termina Field at night. So yeah, it's a really great enemy to grind up against when you're collecting rubies or something like that. It's Gomez. Your attacks won't do a thing until you defeat all those bats surrounding it. The Addams Family. Dun-dun-dun-dun. 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 Yes, I was actually snapping my fingers instead of holding the shield button. I am that bad at video games. Anyway, what you want to do, use your shield not shield, you want to use your light arrows to get rid of the bats surrounding it. What I like doing is I like to try to use the jumping attacks if I can. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit tricky to do it with this enemy, because after you attack it once, it'll do that spinning attack. That spinning attack with the battle axe kind of reminds me of one of the things that Thanos does in Avengers Endgame. I'm talking a lot about stuff that aren't related to Zelda at all in this video, aren't I? Alright. Get rid of you. Get rid of the bats. Owie, that hurt. And now you're defeated. This enemy is honestly one of my favorite enemy designs for any Zelda mid-boss ever. And I'm really sad that we don't really get to see this guy a whole lot in other Zelda games. I also like how the enemy's weapon just suddenly zaps out of existence. What could it be? 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 You got the boss key. So now that we've taken care of all of that, we're going to use a Song of Soaring to get back to the entrance of this place. And that's going to be it for this episode of The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. So thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, Lady Gear to you. Oh yeah.